What's good? I'm gonna give everybody a second to get in here. Hilltop, I'll unserver you if you want. I don't know why that. I guess it was background noise at some point. Pretty choppy day so far on equities. I mean, it gave some gains. I didn't take anything. I just didn't see really a reason to. Not really too upset about it. I mean, to be honest, it's election week and CPI week, so you can expect a little bit more, I guess, just irritating price action, for lack of a better word. But just don't let it irritate you is the key. And that was the reason I put my stops to break even here, is because I was watching order flow. We came down into this fair value gap that was at a discount of this original impulse swing. Swept out that liquidity. That's where we got our entry. We consolidated, nice push up, shifted market structure right there. Get this a little cleaner. Shifted market structure right there. Came back down to the imbalance. 3 drive. Push up. Got another shift in market structure. Another shift in market structure, but no dice. So only thing I really see, in hindsight that we reacted off of, which is clear now, is this order block. But to be quite honest, I don't really want to really call that or something, because obviously I didn't see it, and for 2, I wouldn't trade up that anyways. I kind of wondered if this setup right here, where we can barely pip that high, that was in the morning. So that was the first high we took, and we did get a nice move down, but this was just too wide of a range for me to want to trade, especially, take a short from this fair value gap with the stops right there whenever we have equal highs just above. It just wasn't the kind of trade setup I'd like to take. What's up, Zach? ZP. Feel weird calling you Zach. I just read it off the feed. But yeah, so overall framework for the trade was we had this impulse swing coming out of the London session. OTE was this fair value gap. So just to kind of give you a visual on that. Right, and down into this optimal trade entry. Still could come down lower and move up. Overall, I wanted to see a push up into this order block. I tweeted about it. And then last week, I tweeted about a standard deviation of this target down here. Now, why I'm kind of focusing on this, I'll go over in a second. But, we could move towards that. Who knows? Overall, pretty boring. Not much of a range to work with. Some people probably took some gains. I don't know. I didn't. I told people that, this was the first option. The first TP was going to be this, but then it got taken before our entry was hit. So then I moved an optional profit target of that high with 3,800 flat, and then the equal highs, these set just under the main 15 highs. So that was, God, why is there just fucking porn bot in my, look at this. Shit is so annoying. It's like, why, I don't know. Block user. Anyways, so yeah, not the prettiest price action, but again, can't be too upset. We are trading in a pretty choppy market. The overall conditions due to the elections tomorrow and then CPI on Thursday, they're going to be a little different. So kind of got to take everything a grain of salt. So again, another reason for the long bias was, you guys know I usually use the 1 hour as my time frame, but I think we can all agree this is pretty not the cleanest price action. So that's why I use the 15. So when I looked at the 15, to me, the order flow is bullish. We're in a discount here. We've got a price delivery rate and a premium. Again, the 1 hour on the on this range is not the cleanest. I was looking at this full fill above those equal highs as well, but really this order block on the 15-minute, which is kind of a choppy one, but we look, price traded up, formed this order block, all these up candles, came down, traded back up into it, and then that's where we expanded to the downside. So I was kind of looking at that order flow and this full fill of this fair value gap. I still think we have a chance to move up into that. And I might take a trade in the PM. I won't be watching markets as heavily because I got a lot of stuff I got to do this week. As far as the PM session, I will be trading the AM every day. But to, I guess, give the bias, and that's what everybody's here for, this week, I think, is going to be a very unpredictable week. I'm trying to be wise enough to know what I don't know, and we don't know how elections are going to go, and we also definitely don't know how CPI is going to go. What I am leaning towards is a push up. I'm sorry, a push down after CPI most likely, but a potential push up into it. So I'm just what I do at these moments. If I look at the daily range we have, not how you draw it. If you draw it from up here, right, or down there, first of all, if you draw from up here, which is the weekly range, in my opinion, we have the OTE right at this massive imbalance, which we also have. If we can, refine this if we'd like to where we have potential to make a balanced price range if we come up and tap into that right at optimal trade entry. Now, I'm actually going to refine that to that. So I do see upside overall. Now, again, with the Fed extremely hawkish with CPI this week, I do see the possibility we go down first. As far as the grand scheme of things, not just necessarily this week, and even maybe take this high, or I'm sorry, this low. So, and Haas actually pointed this out very good. So we had this over here. We had this move down. The last move came down and took the low, and then came up, kind of rebalanced into this daily impulse swing, right, into optimal trade entry there, and then push down before the big rally that we talked about back here. For those of you guys who've been here for a while, you guys know that we called this entire move right here. So I see the seasonality of, we take a low, retrace to the impulse swing, then take a low, then get the actual weekly range. Because if we look on the weekly, I do see the potential that, this is really our low that hasn't gotten taken yet, kind of like where we're at over here. So what I want to do now is I want to take a fib and draw it from this right here. You can see we barely tapped optimal trade entry. Really, it still goes up into this imbalance. And I think that's the clearest point, is just this massive fair value gap from the CPI day. Anything can happen with the news. I'm not an economist. I'm not going to sit here and try to predict the news or forecast it. I'm just going to wait for price action to be indicative of one thing or the other. So I would like, what is this? Okay, we'll actually go over this really quick. Watch, I'm going to be sad if ES swept me and then just goes, but it's okay. If it does, I won't be too upset. Euro dollar, I think could potentially provide shorts if we get a 1 hour shift in structure to the downside. It's nowhere near as far as giving that yet. There's definitely the potential it goes higher, but if we can get a nice shift in structure to the downside, I'd probably take it down to some of these imbalances. DXY, let me redraw this. Just gonna have to get all redone. I don't know. That is optimal trade entry. I might just leave that there. I mean, the first one at a premium is probably going to be right here as far as imbalances. So seems like it hasn't really shown any strength just yet. Kind of just chopping around here. Just took this low. So give it more time there. Again, we got elections tomorrow, so everything's going to be really wild. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pump into it. That was another thing that was kind of behind this trade. So back to the daily chart of ES. Got this liquidity up above here. When we're looking at these impulse swings, the most recent one, which is that 1 hour range I have drawn, we have this fair value gap that we have already traded into. We haven't got to a premium of it. And that would also line up with this order block and above those highs. That was another reason why I wanted more upside, which I do think we will get. I don't know if we'll be a part of it or not, but I do think that we'll get that before any downside. Now, back to what I was talking about, the standard deviation down here. So I want to say it was it this move? I thought I changed the features of this. So I need to. 1. Oh, does that one twice? 0, 1, 0.5, 2, 3. Oh, I need to take the background off. And this needs to be a regular line. So when I'm looking at the standard deviation, this liquidity rate, which was the reason I am focusing on that or even really paying much mind is because it happened with FOMC. So we know that there's manipulation there, right? We also know that we move very rapidly away from it. So if we look on the 1 hour, which is the high time frame I use, at what is right around the area, we have just under a discount of this fair value gap and under this low. That's why the line is a little farther down. So with that being said, I do think that after we come up into this area, we have the potential to move down into that region. That's just using the standard deviations and of the liquidity rate from the FOMC. But first, I want to see a premium pricing. So as far as the daily bias or the weekly bias goes here, I'll be honest with you guys, it's pretty tough. If I had to say, I would say up first into the CPI and then down. But yeah, it's a tough one. I know last week we weren't on point, so I did get last week wrong, which is okay. It is what it is. I think we've been right for a couple weeks before that. So we'll see how we move through the lunch hour. As of right now, I mean, I see the order flow going to the downside. DXY was pushing pretty rapidly down, but we've got this fair value gap that we created on the 5-minute from that shift. Price is kind of just hanging out within it. I'm not going to take a trade due to the lunch hour. We've got a breaker right here as well. Looks like we're trading into. God, I hate how it highlights everything. I wonder if there's a setting to like make it not do that. I know I can get around it by clicking the brush tool, but trading into that breaker right there. Specifically, what you'd want to see here is a reversal on the 1 minute if you wanted to see price going down. And really all that is we use that 5-minute market structure shift to tell us the 5-minute might want to go down and to gain confidence in that you want to see the same thing on the 1 minute within areas where we presume there are orders. There is a crypto long setup that I want to potentially trade. It hasn't given really much yet, so it's not the cleanest in the 1 hour. I'll look on the 15-minute. I like this area right here. Now, I'm going to go on a 5-minute and look at this just because really this fair value gap has already been mitigated if you go by just terms of equilibrium. So I want to go and refine, and also this order block. Probably just go ahead and mark the order block instead of the fair value gap. Nice volume imbalance there as well. Yeah, I like that too. I like this zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert for that volume imbalance on Harmony 1. And if we can get the 5-minute switching bullish there, I would look for a long entry. I think that the daily chart on Harmony still has a lot of room to run, like a lot. We got stopped out at break even on a trade, unfortunately, this last week. But I still like the targets of this high, this imbalance up here, and then this massive order block. So I think this has a lot of room to run. And the daily is still showing desire to move to the upside. So I'd layer that through the 1 hour, which what I did was I waited for price to come back down to optimal trade entry of this impulse swing right here. This is also drawn on the daily, just this big move. And then I looked around at this imbalance, price reacting nicely off that. The 1 hour now giving a shift, nice energetic move up, taking out these highs, closing above it, which is also a plus. So now I want to see us come back down to a discount. Now this could keep running and make a higher range. This, I wouldn't say this impulse swing is confirmed, over yet, but where it's at now, this is what I am really looking at. Oh, nice. Okay, anonymous. He said he took some partials on that one trade. I didn't, so I'm glad you did. As for Link, I will say crypto is like looking better than indices. A lot of altcoins are clearer, which you guys know I'm like a crypto Scrooge half the time. Link looks good here, to be honest. See, I don't even remember this like alert. I saw TradingView, man. Like it's really frustrating. I'm never probably gonna switch to TrendSpider just because I'm so used to TradingView. But I will say, dude, like I never see my alerts, and I've even been turning off my PC. I don't know if I need to set them on mobile or what, and I check all my notification settings. If anybody's ever had that problem and fixed it, let me know because it's super fucking frustrating. I actually like Link a lot here. So it's same story with Harmony One. I mean, we've got a daily imbalance, right? I'm just gonna delete this just because I know it's there. It's a lot of clunk. But clear liquidity objective right here. These highs, these equal highs as well. Really much higher, if you want my honest opinion. But you could also mark up this order block. So a lot of room here on the daily. Order flow is bullish, shifting upside again. Now we're cutting down rebalance, or not rebalance, reprice. ICT would have a fit if you heard me say that, but you guys know what I meant. To reprice the daily fair value gap. Now on the 1 hour, we have another impulse swing, very clear fair value gap. Also an order block right there. So pretty clean setup. This is actually a little bit better than Harmony One. So as far as in terms of, and this is what I mean when I say I see something that's like clear. So like this to me is a little clearer than Harmony One. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set an alert right there at the bottom of the 1 hour candle that confirmed that fair value gap. Hopefully I see it. And then I would look for a long there. Now, again, we're just playing into the daily narrative. We're watching the order flow. The daily is telling us multiple times, shifts bullish. What does it do? Comes down, reprices higher, forms equal high. So this is engineering short liquidity there. So there's going to be a lot of shorts getting stopped out there. And then we have our breakout buyers who want to play. So then market comes down, does what? It starts telling us with market structure shift that it's showing the desire to move up, right? It's rating liquidity, quickly followed by shifts to the upside. Thoughts on XMR? Actually in an XMR trade right now. I'm guessing that's why you're asking. It's just right around entry. I'll hold this one no matter what. I'm not really worried to get stopped out if it does. The reason I wanted to get into this trade was to have some short exposure in case the stock market coming down does pull crypto, because we're in those SNX longs that have been doing super well, especially if you caught from the second limit. If you caught from the second limit order, you ate insane off those. But the overall reasoning here was we have this daily chart. We're at a premium, right? Price pushed up into this fair value gap. We still do have a little bit here. Most of the trade would be taken off at this area, but daily order block after this market structure shift the downside. Same thing here. Big push down. We've came up, filled that imbalance. The 1 hour gave us a shift to the downside. Not really a strong low, so to speak, is the one we use. So if you look right here, that was the first shift, right? The reason I have this stop right here is because I see that as the last point where liquidity was ran, and we have kind of a high resistance liquidity run there. Instead of using, like a more recent swing high like that right there, it would have almost got tapped already. But that's the reasoning behind that. So I'm going to hold it. Showed some energy up to the upside this morning. All right, we had that shift. You could say it was there. Price kind of moved up. Did form some equal highs, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that taken. But again, I'm not going to get out of this trade or close it, because at the end of the day, even if it does if we do have a stop out on it, I'm not really worried about it. Between ES and then the other crypto trades that I've taken recently, and between Playboy Signal, he paid me nicely off those crypto longs. So I'm not really too upset if it gets stopped. The last 2 weeks have been fucking awesome. Let's look at DXY. Still pissing the downside. Overall target on DXY that I'm looking for is these lows. So this is going to be, I'm going to delete this weekly order block. It's already served its purpose. On the 109.275 in this imbalance. I think that's where DXY has a nice chance to go to overall. It might retrace first, but this is where I see price drawing towards. And you got 4 lower highs in a row. I guess you wouldn't consider this because it's technically higher rate of liquidity, but I think you guys get what I mean. Synapse asked, hello, Casper. Do you always wait for a low time frame market structure shift, even if we are already on the M5? As sometimes it just taps the fair value gap and then rips, and I struggle with knowing when to wait and when not to. So I'm a little more fluid with my my entries sometimes. Like, so for instance, if I am using a like a 1 hour, right? I might use the 5 minute for an entry. If I'm using the 15 minute for a framework, I might use the 1 minute for an entry. So it just really depends what high time frame you're using. There's nothing wrong with using the 5 minute for a entry, but like for instance, if you're not going to wait for a market structure shift, that would just be a risk entry, which there's not necessarily anything wrong with it, but like you would just be trading your higher time frame. So for instance, if the higher time frame, gives you your shift, and you have this right here, you'd say, okay, where's my POI that's at a discount? Instead of waiting for price to come down here and give you this, you just don't even worry about that. You don't have to worry about the long time frames, and you set a entry there, the stop there. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to, they just call it a risk entry for a reason. So, you might not have to worry about watching the lower time frames, but you do run the risk of probably having a lower strike rate. And also on top of that, you're going to have a lower risk to reward. So sometimes this can work really well, but I think, maybe on the higher time frames, this is something you would do. Like if you're a swing trader and you're using like a 4 hour for entries or something like that, this might be something you would do, but it's not really my personal style, but that's how you would handle that. I said, I'd probably save a lot of money if my alerts didn't work. And also Haas said, I have the same problem with my alerts. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're going somewhere. And Anonymous, yeah, I do have it on an email. I probably should change the email because it's just my billing one for my LLC. So I get all sorts of fucking dumb shit from I don't have my alerts on for it. I haven't even looked at Bitcoin, to be honest. This one's, we're getting up in this range. If we draw this up here, we've now filled this fair value gap. Liquidity under this low for sure. I have had this marked out for some time. Now, if we're talking about the most recent impulse swing, which is this right here, we came down to a discount of that. I think that overall, maybe not, but usually we have a very clean area of liquidity like that in a discount. I look for that to be taken. Looking under it, though, I don't really see much except this down candle, really. And even that, it's been traded up, traded down. You have this tiny imbalance. So this 1 hour range isn't the cleanest as far as that. You could see a reaction off this 1 hour order block right there. You go to a 15 minute. Personally, what I would look for is, I'm also an alert for this, is a sweep into this 15-minute imbalance in this refined area right here, because we haven't came down to a discount yet. Or I'm sorry, no, yeah, we have. This isn't discount. This is the fair value gap. I was like, wait, I thought we had on the daily. I'm going to delete this because we know where we're at. Sometimes it's massive zones that just kill my OCD. But then we can then took these equal lows. Nothing really super valuable in my opinion. But again, crypto, dude, it's just, that's, for instance, like using risk entries. I've kind of not really given up, but I don't really watch the 1 minute a lot of the times for crypto. because I mean, yes, it works, but I think that price delivery is much clearer on indices and even euro dollar. I've been really eyeing euro dollar lately, but yeah, I think that I wouldn't really want to touch this unless we get a sweep, but I could see it moving from here. I don't really see, you know, anything other than, you say this right here, like a shift. Price came back down and moved up, but we're not really holding that. Not really much energy. So would like a sweep and then maybe revisit the idea of some longs. Again, alts though lately are the shining star. Some divergence there. Yeah, I think this could go a little lower because we have that SMT. Well, actually, did it make a high? Yeah, it kind of did. So never mind. I was gonna say if this high didn't happen, and then we had this high on ETH like that, I would say there's some divergence, but there wasn't. Still more energy out of ETH. ETH looks better for upside, though. I will say that. Down back in this order block. Nice off EQ. Again, not really the displacement to the upside on the 1 hour that I would really like. This would be the range I would be looking at right here. Got a lot of liquidity built up down here. So some equal lows right there. We already did take this low on ETH. Imbalance just under these equal lows. So you've got more sell side liquidity there. I was just talking shit at the 1 minute and I'm about to get on it, but I'd say it would have given me an entry. Potential something up here though, to be honest. I mean, this is kind of moved far away from it, but could also watch this, and this to me would be the second leg of distribution. I might end up taking a trade off this. I don't know. I'll kind of revisit this after lunch as well. Because what I'm seeing, just to kind of, these equal highs got taken. We've got that internal liquidity down in a discount. And we aren't really, where we're at isn't really at a premium of the 1 hour range. But I do think that the 1 hour is telling us it still wants to go down. Yes, we took the high here, but that looks more like a liquidity rate for me. I also want to do something like this right here, just out of curiosity. Oh, I didn't save it correctly. Oh, I still didn't save it correctly. God damn it. Nothing really lining up too hard as far as that. And the lows of the range are lining up, but that's not really what I'd be looking for. Let's see if it's on a daily, if that lines up. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Well, actually, look at that. The fourth deviation lines up with this right here. And then this would give us back down to the full swing would be back at a 0.5 right there. Close to it, I should say. Potential little 3 drive as well. 1, 2, 3. When I say a sweep, I mean an SFP, just a liquidity raid. I said this might fix your trading view alerts. I know it's a pain, but you might need your phone on low power mode, and you should get the alerts pop up from the app. Damn. That's crazy. So I need this for RSR too. Weekly chart, ugly. I mean, this one theoretically did come up to a premium right there, and it did move violently away. And we have that shift right there. Came back up, took this liquidity, another shift right there. I think this imbalance right here is the draw right now, like overall where I think price would be going. I'm not even going to set an alert actually for this, but so come back down to this imbalance. The 1 hour has shown some strength to the upside. Now, when I look at this, if this is the range we do form, let's draw this over here. Depending, this might be one I might do a risk entry on, to be quite honest. Just it depends. Let me see what this risk reward's looking like, because a lot of times I don't have time to watch crypto, and I just like trading with the daily in the 1 hour. 6761. 7948. That's not bad, to be honest. Yeah, I'll set some limits for this actually. Good looks. Joe Money from YouTube. Hold on one second. I gotta post this up. So I like that setup overall. DXY showing no signs that it wants to move up at all. What's ES doing? Are gonna make me cry? I'm just kidding. Even if it comes up and hits it, I'll be whatever. Might find another trade after lunch, because it does look like it's showing desire to want to push higher. Now that may have just been to mitigate this, but no displace on the downside. Like we were talking about earlier in the video, once we came up above there, you would be looking for, that desire to go lower, right? Which we haven't seen yet. So you might end up going up to these equal highs. A lot of times too, whenever we have the previous daily high, which this is Friday's high, so it's not Sunday's high, but it's the previous trading session's high. A lot of times when we take that, it'll be in the PM. I've noticed, like we've talked about that in the private classes with some of like the bread and butter setups that I like with the P. We've actually talked about it on free streams too. Quite a few of the times that I've called the PDH has been previous daily high or previous daily low. Getting swept was in the PM session. We did call it live. I didn't give the trade anywhere except the private Discord, but we did call the bias live. And that usually does happen in the PM session. Glacier made a good point this morning. He said he was doubt that this would get taken first thing, which was definitely correct. Yeah, SNX swing is still on Pluto. Is he in here asking me that, or was that? No, he's not in here. I just need to add him in chat. I always just assume people are in stream if they at me during it. What's Nas doing? Nas has just been getting fucking hammered. It would be nice if we take the low on Nas and nothing else. I mean, I doubt that will happen, but. And Dow over here in just full bull run mode. I'll probably cool it on these unless DXY starts showing. Not only a euro dollar, but DXY I want to show signs of reversal. Because just because it's at a zone does not mean by any means that it will reverse. Somebody told me Chili's was pumping. Isn't Chile something to do with like soccer? And there's like the World Cup or something. I don't know. This is something somebody literally told me. I'm not saying it. Let me see. Okay, so it is about to start. It's like a fan coin or something, right? Yeah, it's a fan voting platform, which I still don't understand what the fuck those mean, but looks pretty strong here. I'm not sure what I even drew these lines for. If these are just profit targets or not profit. I wasn't a trade, but just targets or what? I don't know. It's a possibility. I'll probably be pretty reluctant on these ETH shorts unless I see DXY making a shift to or a very clear shift on ETH. So not sure if we'll end up having any more trades today. I kind of expected today to be choppy anyways, so it is what it is, but mainly be watching ES and ETH in the afternoon session. Now we got that RSR limit set. XMR is just hanging out right around entry. So that's still in profits pretty nicely. So we're just hanging out here. I've been on this trade for quite a while too. Anybody who, dude, we called the second limits at 2.409. Let me just show you guys. So the second half was a 2.409 on the third. Like, look at this reaction. Like 2.409 just fucking ripped off that. So anybody who just got the second limits, because we had averaged in half and then we averaged in the second half. Anybody who just got that was fucking printing. I think there was one guy who did because I could just tell he's like, damn, SNX is eating. And I was like, it's probably eating way more for you than it is for me. If you just got that right there. But overall looks good. I think this is going higher. Still like that full fill and much higher, to be honest. And that would be ideal, though, if we took this low and moved into this gap. It would be nice. KSM. Yeah, I'm not sure if you just saw that or not, but we are in XMR still. KSM the daily. Last time I looked at KSM the daily, it looked nice. Somebody had posted a picture of it in chat as well. It's a different kind of TA. I actually like this a lot. I might grab some of this now as far as some equity, just based off the daily. So much fucking room to run on this motherfucker. A lot of short liquidity engineered as well. Oops, wrong thing. A lot of room. Let me just see what this would look like. Just an equity play. I mean, you can use a leverage if you'd like, but I think that's the place I had it. No, okay, never mind. I'd still take the trade up to this region, but I'd be out a lot right here. Look at the 1 hour just to kind of see what it's telling me. I like where it's at. Good looks, chat. Joe Money. Oh, it's Joe Money again. Fucking the market maker over here. He's maybe, hopefully, he doesn't use this as exit liquidity. He's gonna push to my stop now. And simply, this is one where it's really simple for me. It's an equity play. I've been looking to get a little more exposed to some crypto. See a massive 3 drivers, some beginning of some accumulation. We're starting to finally show displacement to the upside. Move back down to a discount of this move into this imbalance right there. And really, for equity, it's enough for me. I'm just going to be swinging it. A daily chart sometimes gives you everything you need, or let's hope it does at least. But nice and energetic move, closed above this high, came back down into the imbalance, got tons of equal highs right there. This is the beginning of that weekly imbalance, and then more equal highs up here. So a lot of room to run. If I can get that kind of risk reward on a daily chart, I'm totally fine with taking it. And then on top of that, the 1 hour did sweep into the zone and showed a nice energetic move up. Now it did move into this imbalance, so we could maybe see a little lower here, take out these lows. But again, I'm not going to be watching crypto like a hawk, so I'd rather just position myself in an equity position. And again, we always manage our risk. So the stop loss, because I get some questions, they're like, oh, you can lose a lot. It's a wide stop loss. And it's like, no, I would lose the same amount of money on this that I would lose on a 10-cent stop loss. It's just, you got to size your position around your stop loss, not just like people use like a fixed position size. Like that is so not efficient in my opinion. But yeah, it's kind of just consolidating in that gap still to the lunch hour. See how we react after 1:30. A little bit of divergence there on the Dow. Nothing confirming to the downside now. We have a look. Does KSM have good fundamentals? It's a. I want to say it's a parachain network. It's basically like dots, like the crypto dot. It's like their test platform. Like people, I think developers can build on KSM before they build on dot. That's for a look at Solana. What's going on with Solana with all this SBF CZ beef? This is like, I don't know why. I don't really like this chart overall. I mean, it is showing a desire to go higher. I just think there are better charts. I'm not saying that I wouldn't get involved in it or anything, because there's nice equal highs up here. I just haven't really been paying attention to it. So nice equal highs there at $48, but we also have these massive fucking lows down here. Overall, I think we'll eventually travel to. The range low right there. Equilibrium is up here of the weekly range all the way up towards this imbalance. So pretty massive move if we were to rebalance the price range. Not saying that we will, but we've got equal highs here. I was just talking shit about it. This chart doesn't look bad. I just don't like these lows. I mean, same with a lot of crypto. That's why most of the plays I've been using have been entering have been plays that we got the lows taken of these ranges. So overall, I'm not sure if we'll get it, but I like this low. If I can get a push under that, I'm into this imbalance right there, because we've got that liquidity and a discount of this impulsive swing right here. All right, so all those lows right there, I think there's a good chance to take those. Now we might not. If we don't, I won't get involved. But if we take those lows right here, come down into this order block of this fair value gap, and the 1 hour shows bullish intention, I would probably look to pick up a little bag. So we've also got equal highs there. And I could still just move from here, right? But we've came down pretty deep into this area on the daily chart. I'd say that it wants the lows. But crypto sometimes will kind of have a mind of its own, trades a little supply and demand. Again, more equal lows. Something that I'll wait on personally, but it is showing the desire right there to go higher. Where to? Maybe just this gap, maybe the highs. To me, it's just not probable enough with all the liquidity built up under those lows. See you later, Sam. So he's got a bounce. Thanks for the stream. Ethereum Classic. Damn, Joe Money pumping them out today. Joe Money's the market maker. He's just going to use this for liquidity. Hudson said, look how clean US 30 is moving. Fuck, man. I don't really fuck with US 30, but it has been pretty wild lately. Take a look at just a real quick look. That shit is on go mode, dude. So for me, I would still say that this really is the range we're operating within. Just because before I would have looked at it like something like this, push up, then moved it up there, then it kind of came down and took that low. So I would say this right here. I got a 15-minute. We've got this massive candle. It's an order block. It's really already been traded into, though, to be honest. Could recapitalize it. Then we had that SMT divergence on with the the Nasdaq and the S&P. So I think this has a good chance to make a nice move down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw optimal trade entry. Yeah, that's what I thought it would be. So we got that liquidity right there under the low. That's in a discount of this range. It would be nice if we tag into this order block. We're in the premium of the range. That SMT divergence. I won't lie to you, it's pretty fucking clean. Just the time of day is not really there for me as far as the trade. I might paper trade this, and I'll start watching the Dow a little more because it has been moving crazy. I just usually with the techniques I use, it doesn't. It's not as consistent. Like it'll have really good periods, but then sometimes it's not.
My one problem with the Dow is you can have one stock that just pumps it.
Yeah, exactly.
One stock that just pumps it because there's so little and it's price weighted.
Exactly. Just way more unpredictable. ETC. What is this zone I have? This balanced price range right here. What did I draw it out so far? I don't know. Not showing exactly what I would want just yet to the upside, but it's giving a framework for it. I mean, I guess if you consider that displacement break of structure, I personally am going to wait until like you get a second leg up, or I would wait, I should say. Weekly chart looking good though. We talked about this for a while now. It's been like a month because we had that breaker. We came down into it. Delete some of this. Is it the alert? Okay, never mind. Market structure shift up, came down. Now we've shifted up again. I have that balanced price range, also that 1 hour fair value gap. So the weekly is telling me that, I mean, this is a crazy one because there's a lot of upside potential. But I mean, I like this zone right here. It's weekly order block, 32.42-ish. I might change it or add this to the list. Pretty wild the way it's moving lately. So I'll keep an eye on it. I'll try my best to stay up. I try not to watch too much shit as far as like the lower time frames because I firmly believe that the more you watch, the less efficient you're going to be. Swing trading, you need to watch a lot of stuff, and that's why I have a lot of cryptos that I've added to watch for swings and trades based off of the higher time frames. But as far as this, the higher time frame risk to reward, in my opinion, to my target isn't that great. So I'll do my best, but hopefully the analysis helps some of you guys. I mean, I would look for a shift above a swing high, which the most recent one would be this right here. So I would want a nice, very animated shift up, leaving a fair value gap. You could maybe frame a trade off of that. Overall, would be looking for it to draw up into these highs here, all this right here, really just this high, and then farther up. And see, this is how you could get that risk to reward that would be good enough. Now, again, I'll try my best to watch it. I'll actually move this one up because I like this setup. On that note, though, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I really appreciate you all coming through. Again, this week's a tough one for bias for the markets. I mean, I would say let's look at DXY again. I would usually be able to give you a pretty confident one just because elections. If I had to say, I would say maybe a little up, then down under the weekly open after CPI for sure. Again, it's a hard one, guys. I won't hold you. I don't want to act like I'm very confident, but I see Yeah, it's a tough one. I won't lie to you. We'll keep updating it as the streams move on through the week. But again, I think tomorrow I'll have a lot more clarity after the reaction to some of these elections. I know they won't call the elections till probably after market hours as far as who won, but in all of them at least. But yeah, DXY looks like it's drawing down, but it has a lot of stuff it needs to reprice to. Indices are just fucked after that FOMC. There's this massive range here again. I think the draw is still going to be up here, or at least these equal highs overall. And at that point, we'll revisit it. Crypto, I will say, looks good. Most altcoins look like they went up. All right, guys, I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, as always, just hit me up. DMs are always open. And then if you guys are in the Discord, of course, you guys know how to get through to me. If you want to start a free trial to the Discord, the link is in the description. And also, I'm going to post a video and a short here within the next hour. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, if you guys can like and comment and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, I appreciate it. I always forget to say that. I just feel like such a fucking YouTuber now. But it really does help me a lot. So I'd appreciate it if you do. But I will see you guys tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Peace.